So what do we have here? This is day 32. We are at 257 out of 642 pages. Follow your dreams. And that's what I'm telling everybody right now. Follow your dreams. What the fuck else are you going to do with yourself? You know what I'm saying? I mean, everything else kind of unimportant when it really comes down to it. Just want to shout out to IRC Cloud for not having any kind of meaningful all say type shit. Yeah. I mean, that these people know. Bam, bam, bam. Did I get banned from the Real Politics server? The fuck? God, Chad does that shit all the time. He's always deleting his Discord. I think he just suffers from moments of self-doubt and that they play out in... oh, fuck it. I was supposed to set up Spaethiwa's thing. So Spaethiwa built us a fucking fancy... what you call it? Switchboard for this whole deal. I guess nobody really watching at the moment here. We could fuck around with this. All right, so... Yeah, let's go. Let's test Spaethy's thing. Because he went to all this trouble to fucking do it. 1 second. P.S. Mom and Dad, this is JC. JC, this is my mom and dad. Now show them titties. Now show them titties. Yeah, I gotta do this a whole fucking different way. There we go. P.S. Mom and Dad, this is JC. JC, this is my mom and dad. Wrong URL. What in the world? Dear JC Lane, I wrote to... Yeah. You had a lot of dick. Had a lot of dick. Had a lot of time. Jesus Christ. What's this fucking thing running on? Two. Now show them titties. All right. So, to the best of my knowledge, these figures are fucking accurate. All right, so let's put me. Are you fucking serious? We broke our stream controller. Oh, that's a. Wait, no, it's working. All right, hold on. This is like a huge lag or something? Hold on. Oh, this can happen when you have the fucking editing app open whilst this is going on. Hold on, let me fucking figure out what's what here. I should have done this off stream. Well, I was working on my farm around 1982, pulling up some corn and a little carrot too. When a little fly in aeroplane happened by. All right, let's try this. Boom. So, oh, cool. Yeah, so it added to the point. There's no audible alert, which there was, I think, meant to be, but all right, so I'm giving Spathy a point for a huge editing project. Let's just have this in front of the whole fucking screen the entire time. That won't be annoying. So let me see. Actually, hold on. No, I can't fucking trim it here. Really, I like just need to have the top 3 or whatever. I wonder if we can arrange this so that it would be, we could take that whole stupid top bar and just make about half of it. Yeah, I would like it to fit within a horizontal, fucking maybe 100 pixels high. Shout outs to Mayheim right there, who actually made this. It's kind of cool. Yeah, like we'll fuck with this scoreboard. And then it'll, yeah, having to log into it every single time. Because usually we reboot the machine just about every time we start up. But, I don't know, let's see if viewers like this whole scoreboard thing. Shout outs to Spathy for putting that together. That's pretty badass. And it definitely works in the fucking chat. So, did we spell Logic's name right? Close enough. I wonder if I can like edit the names and shit. So Brongulus is up in there. We got Mantis Code, Dwayne with his 2 edits. We got Jira, Doc Gorilla, Sirius, Zastam. That's useful. All right. Well, cool. Yeah, it's really super fucking dope for people to be involved enough in this to actually go out and make things. Yeah, I think what we'll want to do is have it fit in fucking that top bar where it says live editing stream. We'll just replace it with some sort of leaderboard there. The score is based off of a screenshot of the text document. Yeah, that's what I would assume that you had done there. So that's close enough. All right, let's try it out. And if it fails, everything that we do is recorded, so we can always back up to that whole thing. That's kind of nice, actually. I had an idea along with it. What I'll probably do is I can fucking code it. Really and truly, I can code it so that I'll just pick like the people who actually edit frequently, and then just I can have that coded to send that message to Twitch chat through the account, and then I can have it fucking what you want to call it. It can play a sound effect also when they get an edit in, which is kind of cool. Yeah, I'm gonna. I think everybody already knows what sound effect I'm gonna use. It's not that. It's not Macho Man screaming, "Oh yeah," because Lord have mercy. So, reporting from yesterday. What is it? My broccoli balls were at first I thought they were too salty, but then I drank a lot of whiskey and they were the perfect amount of salty. So, yeah, I definitely oversalted them, and will pay a dire price. But they're actually like the right amount of salty for something while you're drinking. So they would be like the perfect component to drinking some beer and sitting on your porch and killing yourself inside. So I'm loving that right there. So Spaethiwa got an audio alert, but yeah, I wonder if my potentially my shit is muted. Hold on. Foxtrot, Charlie. No, we would have heard it if it were actually available right there. So, yeah, audio alerts are always fucking weird. You might have to enable some fucking notifications thing in Firefox for it to happen. But I don't know. You're probably running some weird dev version of Firefox where it gives all permissions, where your asshole's open to everybody. So whatever. The broccoli balls came out good. I did that soy marinated beef chuck roast, and what I learned is that so that cooked for about 24 hours. Really needed to cook for more like 30 IMO to get super tender, but it's still pretty tender. Came out pretty well. Did a good job of marinade. Didn't quite penetrate it the way that I would have liked. I think I'm gonna get one of those big marinade syringes and fucking go to town. In fact, I probably already own a number of big ass syringes that I could use for this, because I like the whole meat to be crazy. What do we got here? Or I could have just let it only marinated for like 3 days. I probably could have let it marinate for like a couple of weeks. But you know, fucking all said and done, to cook to like relative nowadays too. I'll tell you one thing: when you're cooking anything that includes meat in it, you're cognizant of the fact, like, hey, if I fuck this up, I'm out $30. You know, of course, $30 is now worth about $3. But but yeah, like there didn't used to be in the back of my mind, ooh, I should be careful with this shit. I don't want to fucking waste, like a half a day's work in meat. But and which is bad news for somebody who is pretty experimental in their cooking and their sexuality. So, but it is what it is. So I'm fortunate that this time everything came out good. I mean, it's not too hard to fuck up like meat. But you seldom go so wrong that the prospect is inedible, unless you just fucking don't pay any attention during the cooking process or whatever. Shout out to sous vide, by the way. That shit is keeping me sane in these trying times. Just doing weird recipes and stuff. One of the things that I learned while I was making those broccoli balls is, so I wound up putting in 4 eggs. The whites, just to keep it like consistent, so they would have some kind of protein binding them together, which worked perfectly. Also, I just like eggs; they're great. And then I added, like I wanted to like brush them with the yolks, but I did that too early in the process, right? And I was too profligate with my yolk. I had 4 yolks and just yolked them up at the beginning, and so the tops got golden brown, but then it was time to fucking flip them. So I knew at the time, I was like, you should probably do this like halfway through the cook after the first flip, but I was impatient, and I paid a price in less golden brown looking fucking things. Oh god, what is Grounded Zero doing now? Oh, he's testing his highlight script. What a good time to do it, early in the morning. Shout out to that guy. All right, and just because we can do it, ping! Look at this fucking scoreboard. I'm more excited about this by the second. It's fucking dope. Hold on, let me try adding a new person. Boom. So, cool. Yeah, so it puts him into it. You can see where Mayhem plus plus just showed the fuck up there. That's dope. I'm really enjoying. Hold on. No. So there's got to be. There's yeah. What's the well? What's the nomenclature to give somebody like multiple points? I mean, I get plus plus minus minus a billion times, but anyhow, that's not what we're here for. What are we here for? I think we got a novel that we'd like to get edited. All right, so let me give you a little backstory here. So I see some new people popping up in the whole thing. This is Lemon, Maybe, and the Electric Lady. I'm Zak Zyz, and this is either my 10th or my 11th book. I have completely lost track. But in terms of publishing, let me see, it will probably be my 7th. Did I have another book in the because Space Star's going to come out before that, and I have 5 books in print right now. So yeah, it'll probably be my 7th published book, and I will probably be the one to publish it through KDP. Then, so this is the story about what I think would happen if a bunch of low-life drunks from a dive bar in Hell's Kitchen suddenly woke up with superpowers. No explanation, no origin story, no fucking guidance, no morals, and just a bunch of drunks with powers they do not deserve and cannot control, going wild on Manhattan. And that's what's been happening thus far. So, so far in the story, is it working? Yeah, hold on. Boom, Mayhem plus plus, and then you can look right here in our scoreboard. Bing, there you are. Well done. Thank you so much for setting up that scoreboard. We'll fool with it a little bit to get it in the exact configuration where people can see it the whole stream long. We'll probably put it as like a top bar, maybe under where it says live editing stream, and I'll trim down live editing stream to about 50 pixels. We'll try and get that top bar to be about 100 pixels, and I'll edit everything. Because, yeah, the audience participation is what makes this whole thing wild. So what else is going on in the story? So thus far in the story, we've met several principal characters. We met Lemon Lemoyne, who runs a dive bar called The Pits in Hell's Kitchen. He doesn't have any superpowers. He's just fat. Then we've met Maybe, who is a 14-year-old boy who just happens to be invisible. And if you can see a problem with that configuration, good on you. Because that's... every part of the story is intensely problematic. We've seen Sarah Shiner, who is a former electrician who started to actually see electricity and generate it constantly all over her body. In fact, she's almost killed a couple of people just by grabbing a hold of them there. And she can't turn it off. That's one. I want to say one thing about just about all these characters in this book. They can't turn it off. They don't have a lot. They have almost no agency in these powers that are manifesting, which I think is like a critical component of it being real dark and fun. What else we got here? So we got all that. We're about to have another chapter with Gary Polk, who is a telepath and a terrible human being. Shout outs to Dying Inside. I think the prototypical book about telepathy that everybody should read if they want to write something about telepaths. We've got Matthew Hausterlitz, who is some kind of feral Wolverine type creature, but not actually. He's just Jewish. The whole thing is just a setup for me to crack racist jokes. I'm loving it. What else we got up in this whole deal? Matthew. I think that's about... you guys haven't met... I think you've seen Carl Mason, a cop who just fucking disappears. Did she kill somebody at the diner? The telepath, Gary Polk. She almost killed him. But then we had the scene where he was in the hospital, and he is filled with a righteous sense that he wants to do better, and he's aware that kind of shiny aura around his life after a brush with death is a fleeting thing. So he wants to do something to better himself, Gary's an interesting character because it goes deep into people who don't like themselves and the things that they'll do to try and like themselves. And spoiler alert, nobody who doesn't like themselves ever begins to like themselves. You hear a lot of stories about people who had to find themselves and people who learn to love themselves and all this horse shit like that. I want to tell you, I have never seen one of these people. Not once in my life. I don't think that they actually exist. I think you'll meet a lot of people who tell you that they learn to love themselves, and you'll meet a lot of people who can function despite hating themselves. But I have never seen one where at their core they were able to get rid of that little nugget of self-hatred. It's always there. And if you think it's not there, just fuck that person, and then you'll see it. That's where it's hiding deep down. Really and truly. But that's just my theory. Let me see here. So let's go down to it. So this is Lemon Maybe and the Electric Lady by Zak Zyz. Chapter 32. Foundling. 2.8, 4:05 p.m. Hell's Kitchen, New York City. No one says it. Everyone feels it. There's the occasional fat fuck. There's the occasional fat fuck, but sub-vocalizers are few and far between. Mostly Gary feels the moment where their eyes trace the outline of his gut, look up to his unkempt neckbeard. Let's not say neared. It could be. I mean, like, it really depends on. I'm not familiar enough with Eastern culture to know. But, like every time that I try to think about people's psyches, all that I can really get down to is women that I've dated. And I have never dated an Asian woman who hated themselves. And there haven't been a lot of them. And I know plenty that should have hated themselves. But they had just like this tinge of narcissism to the point where they definitely. I knew one who hated herself, but she was half American, and definitely the American half was calling the shots with that particular person. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe it's like a cultural thing. Maybe self-hatred is deeply enmeshed in like some kind of original sin type thing. It's tough to say. But also, do it matter when it really comes down to it? Hold on, there we go. Let's see here. They just don't give a fuck. I don't know. That's true. Well, that's not what I'm here for. Like, we could talk about this all day. I have, by the way, on the other Twitter, there's a really spicy tweet about locker room talk from the other day. It was like so risque that I couldn't even like post it on servers or anything like that. I was just like, fuck it. And like, look at the Twitter if you want to see it, because it was bad. But also, I think an element of truth in there. Nobody says it. Everyone feels it. There's the occasional person who may... There's the occasional pedestrian. There's the occasional pedestrian who mentally sneers fat fuck, but sub-vocalizers are few and far between. Mostly Gary feel the moments... Mostly, Gary feels their first impressions. There's the occasional pedestrian who mentally sneers, wide load or fat fuck, but subvocalizers are few and far between. Mostly, Gary feels the first impressions. Mostly, Gary feels the impressions. The moment where eyes trace the outline of his gut, look up to his unkempt beard. I don't know, god damn it. That's not what I want at all. Okay. Da, 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 da. Next to Lincoln was some negative memory, often a smell. Rotting food, locker room funk. Hmm. Next to Lincoln was some negative memory, often a smell. Let me see. How are they? Uh, Never anything good. So Jeff is right in that these are or oaks, however he wants to be called. Hold on, let's take a look at. Let's see. Yeah, let's take a look because we're. This is like verging into more stylism and less readability right here. Which you were here for the edit of Gravid. That's gonna happen. I think telepathy is where you need to break out like a little bit of the mojo, but nobody says it. Everyone feels it. Here, let's make that its own line, and then Boom. There's the occasional pedestrian who mentally sneers wide load or fat fuck, but sub-vocalizers are few and far between. Mostly Gary feels people's impressions. And they look away. Ugh. Sometimes they'll link him to some fat, disagreeable person from their childhood, their personal archetype of corpulence. It all happens in an instant. Mostly Gary. Where the fuck is that? I had already done the associated with, so you're not getting that that point. Mostly. Oh, we do need that comma. All right, so that is a couple for Spathy what right there. Huh. Yeah, I wonder if like having to go to the other screen to type in is we'll figure it out. But I wonder if that's fucking with me. Comma after smell. Let's take a look. Often a smell. What's a whole paragraph? Hold on. Let's take a look. A moment where their eyes trace the outline of his gut, rise to his unkempt beard and greasy hair. Then they look away. Ugh. The ones who keep looking usually associate Gary with some negative memory, often a smell. Rotting food, locker room funk, or a dead animal. Never anything good. Sometimes they'll link him to some fat, disagreeable person from their childhood. Their personal their personal archetype of corpulence. Yeah, it's not a full sentence, but it doesn't have to be a full sentence. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, like we can have sentence fragments within the book if we need to. Most often a smell. We could have a semicolon there, honestly, but I think semicolon separated lists. You know what this should honestly be? There. They should be italicized. Rotting food, locker room funk, a dead animal. Mm-hmm. It's never anything good. There we go. So there. And Oaks is going to get a point there for niggling on this sentence right there. It is better. Like this. Rotting food, locker room funk, a dead animal. It's never anything good. Sometimes they'll link Gary to some fat, disagreeable person from their childhood. conflating him with their personal archetype of corpulence. Cool. This all takes less than a second. And then the iron doors of perception slam shut. Their minds know. The person makes up their mind about Gary. They hate him and they don't want him around. That person makes up their mind about Gary. They hate him and don't want him around. Okay. He's used to it. He's used to it now. It's all going to change. He's going back on his diet. He's going to clean up his act. Going to help people. Mm-hmm. Mm. Yeah, that's not a good sentence. Later. But Gary was insistent, and they needed the bed. Right now, he's winded just from walking down the street. At the moment, he's winded just from walking down the street. The shock left him so weak the hospital almost wouldn't discharge him, but Gary was insistent, and they needed the bed. The air outside is so cool and sharp. The sky is so blue. Yeah. What do you call those? Walker canes? Uh, Adjustable quad cane. Yeah. Look at that. Oh, it's ice blue. No. Yeah, let's just make it out of cane. What? He had trouble staying on his feet, so they sold him a cane. The discharge. Oh, there we go. The discharge nurse thought it was a bad idea to cut him loose. Cut Gary loose. But at the same time, he needed Gary's bed. Mm-hmm. Hmm. Gary heard it all. In his thoughts, the nurse was more worried about the prospect of a lawsuit than actual danger for Gary. Gary heard it all. You'll probably be okay. Yeah, imagine knowing what a fucking doctor's actually thinking. That'd be scary as fuck. Like you occupying like this tiny sliver of their attention, like in the back of their mind, they're thinking about alimony and their boat and fucking how tired they are, like wanting a sandwich, you know, whether or not they can get a hand job from that cute orderly, you know, like all this shit running in the back of their mind. So little actually concerned with what's actually going on with you. Wild. I'll shout out to Mike for watching the stream right here. At the moment, Gary's getting winded just walking down the street. He stops to catch his breath. The air outside is so cool and sharp. The sky so blue. He feels minuscule. He almost lost this. It's a shiny new cane. So now Gary's on the street. He's several $1,000s lighter after a night on the hospital. The cane is in his left hand. There's a thick bandage over the right. She didn't actually grab his hand. She grabbed him by the wrist. So let's see. So Sarah is, I think, right-handed. So he's sitting across her from the table like that. She grabs this wrist. Okay. No. gonna use flagellate, but flagellate, like, there's such limited spaces where you can use the word flagellate, and like somebody's always going to think of like either sperm cells or fucking Catholics, and I don't. Neither of those is appropriate here. Scourging, on the other hand, hell yeah, who wouldn't want to be scourged? If it was good enough for Jesus, it's good enough for you. No, I don't. I don't like how that turned out. Through the night. How long has he been there? Yeah, he was just there overnight. Here, let's single night in the hospital. She was in his thoughts all night. Sarah. Sarah was in his thoughts all night. Every time Gary thinks about her, he gets caught in a spiral of regret, scourging himself for all the things he should have done differently. But there's no time. He's about to get bowled over by a ball of confusion. It's a mind. Shit, I need to keep a like towel or something like that so I can wipe off the screen. Clean the screen. All right. What up, Cybercell? There's a damaged mind. There's a damaged mind approaching Gary, a jumble of thoughts skittering in every direction. The stranger's thoughts are high-pitched and harsh. Snagging on every sharp corner. The man's inner dialogue is turning over and over like some furious organ grinder is cranking out the thoughts. All right, this is a lot. Oh, here. Question, do you know if the bot is fucking case sensitive? I'm gonna give him a point right there. Let's take a look at our leaderboard. Ooh, Spathywall with 103. He's up there. He's managed to double logic once again. Whew. All right, what do we got here? He's white, the Chelsea type, but gone wrong. The man is thin and shaking. His clothes are wrinkled and slept in. He could have been good looking once, could have been loved. Okay, cool. It's not case sensitive, thank God. And then the title makes everything, it just muxes everything down to lowercase, and then uppercase is the first letter. Baller. Whoa. All right. Instead, he forces himself to make eye contact. Now his body is just a tattered shell over an engine of addiction. He's trapped in a redlining cycle of hurt, want, pain, need. He could have been good looking once. He could have been anything, but now he ain't. Now his body Now his body is just a tattered shell over an engine of addiction. He's trapped in a redlining cycle of hurt, want, pain, need. That should be italicized. Ooh. Paralyzed by the frenzy of thought. All right. Whew. Bummer that we had to rewrite this whole chapter. Yeah, we've like rewritten every single page. Sometimes it's gotta happen, man. I guess I gained a ton of experience in writing telepath stories with the last book, so I can definitely see places where we just need the clarity. Hmm. Mm. Mm-mm-mm. Yeah, I barely even recognize. So yeah, we can definitely say this a little better. Hmm. All right, let me take a quick pause, and I'll be right back. Yeah, we're making some progress here. I got it. These like slow slogging chapters where we're rewriting are some of the most important ones in the book because they like really, and especially spots with Gary. It's just clarity is so important, and we really don't have it yet. I'll be right back. There we go. Okay, so yeah, I had like fucking sweat tickling the inside of my ear, and it was driving me batshit. But now it's not. The addict no longer sees other people as human. They become puzzles, walking safes that will spit out money if he can just figure out the right combination of money. Yeah, much better. Like taking like a little break for just like 2 seconds is enough to let the mind fucking gel and come up with something better. The addict's eyes have latched onto Gary's, shining with frantic need. He's getting buried under an avalanche of bad vibes. Gary gets flashes of glass pipes and the reek of burning plastic. The re... Scrounging when he ought to be sleeping. The awful, indelible sense that there's something awful on the horizon. Gary gets flashes of glass pipes and tinfoil. His nose is full of burning plastic and unwashed bodies. Shame like a stone between his shoulders, squatting in alleys and pissing into water bottles, scrounging when he ought to be sleeping. That is a much improved sequence about his run-in with Terry the Meth Queen. He must have money to stay ahead of it. He has to get money to stay ahead of it. He's done such terrible things, beating, robbing, betraying. He'll do worse if he has to. Insectile? Let me look that up. God damn it. Oh, so insectile is a word. Insectine is more common. No, it's not. Yeah, it's not a word. Insectine is more appropriate. Yeah, what was? Yeah, so insectine is a word. Insectile is too similar to erectile. I think is the first association people are going to come to. This is a rough. It's a hard chapter. This chapter really asking a lot from the reader. And it's really like, hey, come along with me on this fucking roller coaster right here, and let's think hard about what a guy like deep in methamphetamine withdrawal is all about there. It's a shame because I know that we have readers who have gone through methamphetamine withdrawal, but they're not awake right now because they sleep all morning because they're high on meth all night. Yeah, let's hold on. Yeah, so insectine is not a word, unfortunately. Uh, it's a word in a few places. It's the Century Dictionary. It's not a popular word. Ngram viewer. So it was popular in the 1800s. So it does exist. We're using it. I like it better. Yeah. You have to slow down. Your heart. I don't like that paragraph at all. Mm. I do know. I know you, Terry. Gary seizes on it. Lucky to pluck the guy's name out. Most people will seldom think their own name. Oh, yeah. All right, cool. This whole 4 or 5 pages, we're just trying to build to this point where he can do this magic trick. better. Cool. Terry's mouth is working, moving back and forth, trying to digest this. Needs a comma before Terry. Yep. Boom. Let's take a look at that glorious scoreboard right there. 104. Damn. Hell yeah. Yeah, so the nice thing is I'm going to, I think I can set up first line of, so I think I can set up a macro so that it will add to, like, I'll set up like our 4 most common editors, and I can macro it so that it shows the source, it plays a sound effect, it fucking sends the Twitch chat, and then it hides the source. And I think I can set time delays between each multi-action. That's like a little bit involved here, but that's what ultimately what you want to do is send the Twitch chat, show the source, play a sound effect, and do whatever. So that actually works out pretty okay. Yeah, we can get pretty involved in this whole thing here. Look at all these Terry commas. Let's see. Terry, you gotta stop this. I do know. I know you, Terry. Like, what fucking... Oh, yeah. Cool. Got it. Yeah, I didn't see it there. Okay, so... Give you 2 for all those Terry comments. Terry, Terry, Terry. He's certain this is a trap. I can take you there. I'm not a cop. I'll pay for you. Fear and mistrust. Ooh. Yeah, there we go. A blur of 12-step problems and one-hit solutions. Look, if I can just get 20. God sent me for you, Terry. It's not too late. Terry begins to cry. He grabs hold of Gary and he smells just awful, but Gary doesn't. He smells awful, but Gary doesn't shy away. Angels don't shrug people off. I know everyone. Gary completes the thought. I know everyone, Gary answers. He begins responding to Terry's thoughts as they form. Answering. Oh, yeah. He begins responding to Terry's thoughts as they form, answering before he can even make words. Yes, no. Yes, no. It's not just that. You can. No, yes, everyone. Gary is rattling off the answers, speaking in his softest voice. I don't like answers there. Hold on. I want something closer to solution. Fuck off with your word of the day. Yeah, that's nonsense. No, none of those are right. Reply, reaction. Retorts is... He's not retorting. Refutation, rejoinder, repartee. No. Yeah, we gotta stick with the answer. He's never done this before. A normal person would be afraid. They'd fight back. Terry is running on Terry is running on pure faith. He has no choice. He needs this. Mm-hmm. He's ascending, and he's taking Gary with him, dragging him on high. Everything is suddenly significant. Terry has an all-encompassing clarity, like he's climbing out of himself. He's ascending, and he's taking Gary with him, dragging him on high. Dragging him on high into epiphany. The two men reel on the sidewalk, their minds blasted wide open, electric blue feedback humming behind all their senses. Now they're naked in each other's sight, closer than if they'd just fucked. They're staring wide-eyed at the world with born-again eyes. There are no words, only the now. I found it, both men think at once. Ooh, damn, son. That is some crazy shit happening right here. So, this is the beginning of a kind of religious dimension to some of the weird shit that Gary Polk is doing. And it begins with Terry, a methamphetamine addict. Yeah, we get pretty deep into it right there. Maybe the end of that chapter could use a little bit more tuning. Nobody loves you when you're invincible. Chapter 33 is going to take place in Bedford-Stuyvesant, home of the livest ones. Oh, that's another Sarah chapter. Yeah, like, this is all pretty good. Yeah, hopefully we just don't have any fucking Sansa chapters in this story. Usually, like, every time so far when I get to see a character, I'm like, oh, good. I wonder what the fuck they're up to there. Because, keep in mind, I've forgotten a lot of this story. Whew. That is like an intense fucking download. All right, so that's just 1270 words right there. And then what do we got for time? All right. Cool. So that's not bad. We spent, where am I? I'm here. Spent 2 hours on that. And let me, again, where's our scoreboard? So that puts Spaethiwa at 106. And then Oaks got another one. So Oaks is it too. Cool. I like it. Let me see. Yeah, so I'll give a little time there. So we got to 100. All right, so we're up to page 264, and tomorrow it will be another Sarah chapter. Nice. All right, so I want to thank Spaethiwa and let me see, Mayheim for throwing this thing together. It's neat. Yeah, I don't think anybody else got this shit going on there. And thank you to everybody for being part of that. Yeah, it's like a pretty wild chapter for young Gary right there. All right, did I actually put in? No, I didn't. 124. There we go. All right, so let's save that. Let's save here. Whew. And I'm going to try and get a bunch of work done today. Yeah, I'm feeling good about this whole project and everything. I hope you are too. Yeah, get out there and get it. Happy Memorial Day, y'all. All right, let me get out of here.